Okay, so this new dashboard does look different than our current dashboard. What you'll basically see that is the biggest change is not only the physical appearance, but there's the section in the middle that talks about diving into your technicians based on service, maintenance, sales, and installs. What that's driving or pulling in from is the different business units or class codes. So what we do is there's a setting right here inside of settings um, that's called dashboard settings. And what we do is we tell Service Titan for the dashboard category maintenance, I want you to pull in the business unit or class code called maintenance. For sales, I want you to pull in, install or new construction if you have new construction. Or maybe you don't want to include new construction in sales, you just want to do install. For installation, we want to classify installation and new construction. And then for service, we want to classify everything else. So you have to do this setting up uh, stuff first. But normally, when the dashboard gets turned on, I'll go into your Service Titan and make sure that this all gets turned on and set up. But if any of the numbers on the dashboard look incorrect, this is the first place that I have everybody go check. So make the settings changes, and then on the dashboard, let me refresh this. On the dashboard, let me show a little bit of data. I don't have any data on my test account. There we go. So it still has the the gauge here, and it still has the trending charts and all that stuff. Um, this section here for company metrics, that's a little different. And then, of course, all of the metrics down here for your technician. Now, the only thing that we don't have on this dashboard that is clearly available is this customer satisfaction rating, because that actually pulls in through Service Titan's internal survey where we use Listen 360. So
Mm.
the two platforms aren't feeding back into each other. So you don't have this. So if any of your office professionals ask you, or if you're looking at the dashboard and you're saying, "Why the heck am I not getting a customer satisfaction?" That's because the leads don't flow or the ratings don't flow back to Service Titan yet. But that's something that they're working on. Um, so let's just kind of jump into it. We'll, dive around and poke at it. And like Todd said, being able to coach from the dashboard. Um, if you dive in to any of these little sections, so you have your overview, then you have your lead generation, how many memberships were sold, and your overall productivity. So what the productivity is looking at is the hours on your task code versus the hours that your technicians actually work. So if you're not using Service Titan for time tracking, this is sort of a missing component that you're not going to be able to see. But as an overview, it'll still let you know from a quick glance how much the revenue was, what was their average ticket, how many sales did they, uh, how many jobs turned into sales, and that sort of thing. And then again, you can just go into each of the little sections down there on the side. Oh, let's see. Okay, so if you click on any of the technicians, you can dive into them a little bit more, and it'll show you, more of their stats. So I only had a whopping one job that turned into something. Shame on me. um, but these also will break you down and take you directly into the job. Same thing that you're seeing now on your dashboard. Um, And there's tons of notes about this new dashboard, so we won't just kick you out of the bus and tell you to start walking. There are a lot of notes to review and to look at those sorts of things. As far as the lead generation goes on the dashboard, what that's looking at is um, how many of the jobs turned into leads, and how to classify a lead is on the job. Let me go pick on one down here. Probably have something here on a job where your technician needs to turn over a lead to your comfort designer. All that you need to do is from this job that you're currently working on, you hit this blue drop down box, and then there's a option here that says lead. And so how many leads are being set by this particular technician. So whenever I mark this job as being a lead for another job, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to create a new job? If yes, who is generating that lead? So typically it's going to default to the current technician, but it could be anybody else if you really needed it to. So then whenever you create the new job for your comfort designer, what will end up happening is you want to assign it to your comfort designer as the technician, but inside of the little edit pencil down here at the bottom, it'll say that this was a lead that was generated from this job number, and this is who generated the lead. So then you're being able to track that says, hey, John's super good at turning over leads, but maybe his, and you can also compare that to how many of his leads actually turned into a sale. So there's a lot of different things that you can look for on that. You say, yeah, he's super good at turning over the lead, but maybe those leads aren't actual conversions, or they weren't good leads and those sorts of things. Um, Now there is a on the lead generation. I thought there was. Oh, okay. This this option right here for replacements, what that's looking at is it wants to know the number of jobs that were over $2,500. That's what qualifies it as being a replacement. Um, so if it falls over the $2,500, Service Titan has a little trigger behind the scenes that says, "Hey, this job was considered a replacement." Let's see. Mm, Let me look at. I think the membership tabs are pretty straightforward. Yeah, membership tabs are pretty straightforward. How many uh, opportunities were there of people who were not a member versus the number of memberships that were sold? So at a quick glance, just being able to go to this board for the month or the week or whatever that says, hey, you went to 45 calls and you had the opportunity to turn over 25 memberships, but you only sold one. So there's, the opportunity to coach and train and those sorts of things. And we should have some metrics. I must be totally missing it. 1 out of 5 opportunity. Yeah, I think I'm just totally missing the breakdown of being able to see where that membership was sold. I have to look at that for you guys. Um, Kind of jumped into that. Let me take a step back real quick. Yeah, let me see. I think I have a. Let me look at my notes really quick. Oh, hello.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, that was really weird. My phone just started making this really loud buzzing noise, and I thought I lost the call. Like it was right in my ear. That was so weird. Okay, sorry about that. Had a slight moment of panic. I guess let me just open this up to you guys. Um, Does anybody think that this new dashboard is something that is going to be beneficial? Do you currently train off of your current dashboard? Any type of questions or anything that Todd or I could address with you?
Well, I have a question. Like at the bottom where it has the agent scorecards.
Oh,
So for my two CSRs or myself, if any of us book a lead, um, from what I'm understanding you to say, we have to Service Titan has to be all of our calls have to be going through Service Titan in order for those to generate down there. Is that correct?
it is because what ends up happening is inside of the settings, it there's a place that you can identify your call reasons. Let me
Mhm.
and you basically say whether or not this particular call was a lead or was not a lead. And
Mhm.
what happens is if your calls are not coming in through Service Titan, it assumes that your booking rate is 100% because your every call that you're putting into the call screen is a booked call, um,
Okay.
versus putting in the call to capture the information and then canceling the call. So you're going to have so many more cancellations if you're booking every call and then canceling them off. But
Mhm.
you're right. The call metrics as far as lead versus not a lead or booked versus unbooked, everything is basically will show at 100%.
So, so then my question is, until we get all of our phone numbers answered through Service Titan, can we is should we set up our CSRs under the technician area just so that we can um, see their APs being booked? Because um, Teresa almost had $7,000 in booked either renewals or new APs this month, and our other CSR had about just under 3,000. So
Ooh.
between the two of them, they had a pretty good number, but of course they don't get any credit or satisfaction when they're looking at the dashboard. And I'm kind of trying to create something for them that they can see their
Yeah,
progress.
and what you can also do is you can set them up as technicians. I think that's a good idea. Set them up as technicians, and inside of their technician settings, there is a box that's labeled team. And in the team name on both of your CSRs or even you, if you sell Advantage plans, just put
Hmm.
in the team name office. And what will
Hmm.
happen is on the dispatch screen, let me refresh this. See how it shows your office up here, and
Hmm.
then you could have your technicians listed as technicians or a team or something like that,
Okay.
and they'll show up separately. So you'll have your technicians grouped together, and then your office professionals together. You could have your comfort designer. You could have different teams. So if you had two guys that were designated installers, you could put them on an install team. And then it also for the office professionals when they're booking the jobs, they can at least see technicians alike that are grouped together.
Hmm.
And then what you can also do is inside of this little uh, gear, little cogwheel thingy, I don't know what to call it,
Hmm.
you can uncheck your CSRs so that they don't appear on the dispatch screen. So
Okay.
there'll be nobody listed in that group, but you can
Okay.
still mark them as selling an AP.
Okay. Okay.
And then you're right, that way they appear on the dashboard.
Yeah, just at least until we can get everything moved over, because I still haven't done that yet. So
Yeah,
I think it is something I'm going to do. I think it'll be easier to streamline everything.
yeah. Definitely, yeah, you do get the benefit there of being able to see, who's booking what or what their closing rates are. Um, and then there's also a section here that will show you abandoned calls, and an abandoned call is basically just a call that is under 60 seconds or didn't get booked. So you can
Okay.
click into these and you can listen to the calls that says, okay, I can clearly tell that these were probably nothing, but then you might have a call somewhere down the line that was 6 minutes and they forgot to link the call with the job. So then you can reassign it. You just click on it and oh, I clicked one too many times. And you can reclassify it. Like, yes, I want to reclassify this. It was whatever. It was booked to this particular job, or this
Okay.
was related to an existing call or not a call at all.
Okay.
So,
Scott, I was curious. This is not necessarily to replace the big board, but if you have the technician screen up on a monitor and able to go in and see they went on 10 jobs this month, 2 service, 7 install, maintenance call, whatever, it breaks it down. Is this something you think you could coach off of and would like to have up in front of your guys on a daily basis?
Oh, I think it'd be valuable. Sure. I think.
So I don't see any downside of going ahead and just turning it on, having Josie go ahead and turn it on for you guys. But I mean, it's obviously
I'm
your
good with
call. Yeah, and that way she can double check to make sure everything's going into the correct classes. Cheryl, are you okay with that as well?
Absolutely. Mhm.
All right. I think Matthew is actually on the. I don't know if he's on the phone or he's able to sit. Matthew, can you hear me?
No, yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Are you okay with that? I
Yeah,
don't think Dave has turned this on to Victoria, but I think he'd really like it as well. So we'll have Josie go ahead and just flip the switch on the dashboard for you guys.
yeah,
And,
Sounds
absolutely.
good. Do it.
and I think she wanted to cover a little bit more on the mobile too. And so I'm gonna mute myself again and let her talk about that.
yeah, one of the questions I was going to ask is, um, do you know if your technicians are using the mobile version 1 or if they're using the mobile version 2?
All of my guys are using mobile too.
Okay. Was that Matthew?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine.
And this is Scott. I'm pretty sure we're on 2.
Okay.
And I believe that we are as well. That's the updated one, right?
Yeah, that's the one where it has all of the menu it's a black, like whenever they go look at the job, it's more of a black screen and the menu options are on the left-hand side instead of blue buttons at the bottom.
I'm going to have to look, to be honest, because I don't know if I think almost all the iPads were changed over, but one of them would not even update, so we had to end up trashing that one, and we bought another one, and I'm going to play with it today to get everything uploaded on it because we've got
Okay.
2 new technicians. And so anyway, I'll check all of them this afternoon when they come in, but I'm pretty sure the other ones are updated to 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think more and more people are starting to get on the mobile 2 version, and um I mean it's got some good little perks, and another thing about it is that all of the new enhancements and updates and upgrades and all that other fun stuff is only coming out for the mobile 2 version. So I'm encouraging everybody to push over and get over before summertime really hits. I know it's already starting to get warm. I run my AC every day, but before it really kicks in and then the guys are out there getting frustrated with something that they don't know how to use. So it sounds like um everybody is on, so that's a good thing. That's what I like to hear. Any feedback or anything that you guys have related to mobile? Anything that the guys are having headaches about? Um,
I do have one. This is Matthew again.
yeah.
Okay, so whenever they're going to a call and I'm sorry, excuse me, they're at the call. Let's say they added 2 items,
Mhm.
um, and those 2 items, we got signed authorization to work on those 2 items. Well, now let's say that they have found just somehow they found more issues.
Uh-huh.
Every time they try to add an item or after that one signature has been put in, it makes them like as soon as you try to hit add item or you change it to add on item, they're getting frustrated because now it's asking for another signature on each little. I mean, you could change it $1 and it's going to ask for a different signature on that, and you'll have to hit. It hits. You have to hit back, and then you got to hit cancel, and it's going to go to preview invoice. Then you have to hit back to get back to where you can change your settings again. And they're having a bit of headache because I just figured what would happen was it would just clear that authorization signature again, and then you would go over it again and have them sign it if they have more issues. But it's like it's making them sign on that individual task, and then you go back, and now it's going into a present invoice, and then to make any adjustments for notes or anything, you have to go back again into where you can make your adjustments. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I think it would be better if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah. Yeah,
go.
I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Let me get logged in real quick. Um, yeah, let me get logged in. Hey, I actually have a job. I didn't think that I had a job. Okay, let me go. I'll just jump straight into the invoice. Okay, so let's say they're getting the first signature that says, yes, go do the work. And then let's go back. And let's go back again. And then we'll add something else. Oh, that was a bad one to add. Let's not add a coupon. Oh, okay, I see. But on their iPads rather than
So, like, if you go,
rather than
let's just say that top on the Advantage plan, if you click that, or like even if you try to remove it, it's going to have them sign it. I'm almost positive it's going to have them sign it. I could be wrong.
yeah, I think the website is reacting different than the iPad because I do know what you're talking about where
Yeah.
it basically says, okay, where I did only have one signature that was required, now it's putting 2. I'll play around with that on my actual iPad, and I'll get back with you on that.
Okay, so like, and you see here how it goes to like present invoice. Now it's showing that, but like maybe since you got one already, go into that replace circuit board and like maybe change it to, you know, quantity 2 or add-on item something.
Oh,
And then if you try to hit save, see now it's asking for
oh yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
again,
Okay.
and then you'll have to sign it. Then you'll hit close, and then it goes to present invoice, and you have to close again.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So let me go. Let me look at this. Oh yeah, and it's not gonna let the technician clear that signature. Hmm. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Every time they make a change moving forward.
Right.
I'll see if there's a way to get around that.
Okay.
I don't know if there is or not.
That's just really the only thing that they've had an issue with.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm making a note of that. Okay. All right, I got you, Matthew. I'll take a look at that to
okay.
see if I can find out anything different. Um, Jessica, do you have anything from your perspective, or are you running any hiccups, or have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions right now. Usually when I do, Service Titan's really good about clearing it up, but everything
Okay.
makes sense so far. And I think the guys are updated on their iPads except for one.
Okay. Okay. Good. That is good to hear.
Jessica, this Todd, are you okay with us going and flipping Dashboard 2 for you guys as well?
Oh yeah, I like it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and then what I'll also do, guys, is I did find the notes. I'll send over the Dashboard 2.0 notes. That way you can have those, and it's kind of in your face. And if you have questions about where anything's pulling in from, um, we'll have that for you.
Okay, if there's not any other questions, we can end this call, and we'll send an invite out sometime next month, probably about the same time. But yeah, if you get the notes and we flip it on here today and you have any questions, you have Josie call or give me a call, and we'll